every starting pitcher's wish, right? Let's not give up too many hits, and it should work out okay.
Let's hope so.
His 7th year in the Twins organization. Gonsalves waiting a long time for his major league debut, and he'll end up having to wait about another half hour with the half-hour rain delay, roughly. And that is one of the umpires. That's third base umpire Jeff Nelson, welcoming him to the big leagues, as much as an umpire would do that. Joe McEwing is going to be the acting manager for the White Sox, at least for the early innings. A frightening moment this afternoon when Rick Renteria was taken from the ball game, or from the ballpark, about 3:30, 3:40 this afternoon, not feeling well. He's been checked out. We're very happy to report that Rick is doing fine. He is resting comfortably, and he may even return to the ballpark here and manage the last few innings. So we're very, very relieved to hear that a good man is going to be just fine.
Yes.
And so the White Sox, Menard's batting order to get this one-game makeup started. Tim Anderson leading off, then Lurie Garcia, Jose Abreu, Daniel Palka, Abisail Garcia, Nicky Delmonico, Matt Davidson, Yolmer Sanchez, and Kevin Smith.
And tonight's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture. Steven Gonsalves making his major league debut. We showed you the numbers already. 12-3 combined between AA and AAA. Good minor league numbers. 53 minor league wins, only 20 losses and 108 starts with an ERA at 2.46. So a long time coming for this left-hander.
And the numbers were improving as he was progressing through his season at Rochester. The control much tighter toward the end. So the Twins will give him a look up here and see if he can get some major league hitters out. Primarily a fastball changeup guy, mixing in 2 different curveballs. And the first pitch over, a strike.
Oh, good size kid. Gonsalves 6'5", about 215 they list him at. Signed by the Twins in 2013, their number 4 pick.
Right field, and that'll carry to Cave, one away. Take a look at the Twins out in the field, brought to you by Northland Ford. The 3 lefties lined up in the outfield again, left-handed batters, Rosario, Kepler, and Cave. They all homered in the ball game yesterday. In the infield, Sano, Polanco, Adrianza, and Bauer, with Mitch Garver behind the plate. Logan Forsythe played every game since coming over to the Twins, and getting a day off, with Adrianza getting the start at second base. Here's Lurie Garcia. Up and away, ball 1.
White Sox have been playing better baseball as of late, but they are still 25 games in 4th place behind the Cleveland Indians. Garcia, a switch hitter, playing center field.
There's a line drive to center, wobbling out towards Kepler in center, and Garcia's aboard with a 1-out single.
Garcia is a right-handed hitter, came into this game hitting .342. That ball left up and he just smoked it in center. First base runner.
That'll bring up Jose Abreu, who's been swinging it pretty good for the White Sox as of late.
Yeah, go back to July 23rd. Look at the average, the home runs, driving in runs. 22 home runs, 76 RBIs. He's trying to get to 25 and 100 for the 5th straight year.
That tickles the outside corner. First off speed pitch I think we've seen from Gonsalves, and it's over for a strike.
Yeah, that's the curveball right there. It'll also tighten it up and become a slider down and into right-handers.
One strike to Abreu. And strike 2. So far 5 pitches, 5 strikes. Abreu, a great candidate for a double play. He's actually running better now than he did a few years ago, but he hits the ball so hard, if he hits it on the ground someplace, the Twins might be able to get 2. fastball missing inside. Runner at first is Garcia. And off-speed pitch away, 2-2. Salvas didn't have a particularly good spring training. Started the year at Double-A. Eventually moved to Triple-A. Didn't do particularly well there. Erratic with his control. But again, all of that tightened up in his last month's worth of starts. 2-2. And that's fouled away.
Yeah, his last 11 starts in Rochester since June 16th. 5-0 with a 1.27 ERA. 63 and 2/3 innings, only 34 hits allowed. Only 9 earned runs over the 11 starts.
Almost as many walks allowed as hits, but most of those again came early. Two and two. There, he got the corner. And his first big league strikeout is against a pretty good hitter.
Good fastball inside. Abreu shaking his head. He doesn't like it, but good job by Garver right there. Abreu, the second out of the inning.
2 down, and now Daniel Palka. Just off the plate. Ball 1. Salvas and Palka teammates a couple years ago in Chattanooga.
Palka played a couple seasons with the Twins in their organization, 2016, 2017, Double-A and Triple-A.
1-1. An opportunity for Gonsalves. It was probably going to come eventually anyway, but the injury to Adalberto Mejia has given the Twins even more reason to look at a left-handed starting pitcher, because in the upper levels of the organization they've been a little thin over the last couple of years.
Yeah, with Irvin Santana also going on a disabled list, that kind of opened the door too.
1-1 to Palka. And the fastball up and away. There's Mejia. He's just basically been shut down. Don't know whether there's a pathway back for him to get back on a big league mound, with us getting into the back end of August now. Up and in, and it's 3-1.
He's got that wrist issue. Letting that cool down a little bit.
3-1. 13 pitches, 8 strikes. Gonsalves trying to strand Garcia at first base. Swung on and missed. 92 miles per hour.
Gonsalves down in Triple-A, 65 walks in 120 and 2/3 innings. That's about 4.5 walks per 9. So kind of hit and miss probably with that control. So far so good.
And an off-speed pitch hammered to right center field. Kepler picks it up, fires to second base. A 2-out hit, a little bit of a juggle, and Adrianza recovers quickly. Palka with a base hit, first and third, 2 down.
Well, 3-1 fastball right there, just stayed up at 91 miles an hour. Palka lining it sharply into right center. But there's 2 outs here. See if we get the final out.
And Garcia will bat with runners at first and third. Garcia having a down year, an injury plagued year. In fact, he's playing right now with a bad knee, but wants to try to play through it.
Put on a disabled list a couple times with a right hamstring strain back in April, and he missed almost 2 months because of that, and then put back on in early July.
Breaking ball over for a strike.
Garcia last year hit .330 for the White Sox. Only Jose Altuve had a better batting average.
Outside a ball. Garcia at third, Polka at first. And Garver with a block, keeping both runners at bay. The White Sox were patient with Garcia, got flashes of what they thought he could be, and then last year they thought, well, all right, this is what we can expect now, but he's had a bit of a setback this year.
Made the All-Star team. Yeah, you can't do much about injuries.
2-1 to Garcia. Upstairs with a changeup, looked like, got a swing and a miss.
Well, I said basically fastball changeup type pitcher, and then he'll mix in the curveball and the slider.
Lightly raining here throughout Gonsalves's first big league inning.
He doesn't know it's raining.
Got him. Went upstairs with another one. Couple of singles for the White Sox. No damage done, and Gonsalves has a scoreless first inning. Half-hour rain delay, got through his first inning in good shape. The Menards batting order for the Twins as it tries to give him some early run support. Joe Mauer leading off, Eddie Rosario, Jorge Polanco, Miguel Sano, Max Kepler, Mitch Garver, Jake Cave, Tyler Austin, and A-Ray Adrianza.
And the starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture. That's Lucas Giolito. Giolito making his 25th start, his 4th against the Twins, and he's pitched well against the Twins this year in 3 previous starts. All 3 starts quality starts.
He's pitched well against the Twins, obviously. 18 2/3 innings, and one of the reasons the numbers are so good, he's kept the ball in the ballpark. He's given up just 1 home run to the Twins, and that was hit by Logan Morrison, who won't be in the lineup tonight. On the ground, hit right to the shortstop, Anderson. 1 down. That'll bring up Eddie Rosario. White Sox out on the field. Nicky Delmonico in left, Lurie Garcia in center, Avisail Garcia in right, Matt Davidson, Tim Anderson, Yolmer Sanchez, Jose Abreu, the infielders, and Kevin Smith behind the plate. And the rain picking up a little bit again. With one down, Rosario will bat. Fouled away, a strike. What we're reminded of again yesterday, and as we shoot from our center field camera, we've got the rectangle, the strike zone, the umpire's supposed strike zone there. Eddie has his own strike zone. The one we show you there is like Wyoming tipped sideways. There's a high fly to left. And Delmonico towards the line, tracks it, makes the catch. Eddie Rosario's strike zone is more like the shape of Idaho. There's a lot of north and south to his strike zone. 2 down.
Well, he's up there swinging. It doesn't matter if it's a foot outside. He'll try to hit it hard somewhere.
2 quick outs here for Giolito, and now Jorge Polanco. Polanco has seen the average trickle down to 280. I asked Paul Molitor today whether he thinks his lineup has lengthened in time over the last couple of weeks, and he didn't really admit to that, but he said it's a good lineup given what has been taken out of it through the trades of Brian Dozier and Eduardo Escobar. You know, those were the 2 big bats for a good part of the year for the Twins, and you take those guys out, and yet, you know, what we've seen here in August, at least in the middle part of the month, a lineup that at times can be dangerous. 2-0 to Polanco.
I think what's been nice to watch this ball club, if they are down a couple runs late in the ball game, they have that confidence now that they're going to win the ball game, and that's what happens when you are 19-5 over the last 24 games at home. You want that same attitude on the road, and they'll find out in the next couple of days at Chicago if they can carry the home success into Chicago. Giolito, big man, he's 6'6". They listed him about 255. In his first full season with the White Sox, came up with the Nationals back in 2016 for a cup of coffee, and then a little bit last year.
Swung on and missed, 3-2. Lost to Jose Barrios in April. Had control issues, walked 5 and 6 1/3. Beat Zach Littell 6-3. Had a 4-0 lead before his first pitch back on June 5th. Then walked the bases loaded in the first inning in his most recent start against the Twins in late June, but got out of that jam, and at one point after that sent down 14 men in a row. So yeah, the Twins have, I think, given the numbers, seen Giolito at his best.
Well, basically a fastball pitcher, but they're saying that his curveball's getting better with every start.
3-2 to Polanco with Sano on deck. Foul back again.
Giolito, once the Nationals' #1 pick back in 2012. Out of Harvard Westlake High School in the Los Angeles, California area.
Another 3-2 to Polanco. Another foul ball.
When the White Sox traded Adam Eaton over to the Nationals, they ended up getting Giolito.
Even at the time, assuming that Eaton was going to stay healthy, a lot of people were surprised that the White Sox got as much as they got in return for Eaton, but he's had a couple of injury-plagued years for the Nationals. But 3 2-strike fouls in this at bat. Pitch number 9. And he takes a walk, and that'll give Sano a chance with a man aboard.
That's something that Giolito does a lot. 72 walks, now 73. That's the most in the American League. Let's take a look at our Pizza Ranch 4 Twins win. All of us would like early run support, believe me. You know, as you're making your major league debut, give me a couple, 2-3 runs early on. Let me relax a little bit, so if I make a mistake, it's not going to cost me a ball game.
Here is Sano. He can take care of that early run support here with a man aboard and 2 down. Half swing, but a strike.
Now, clubs have run on Giolito. There have been 23 stolen bases off of him this year.
Half swing, no swing, and it's 1-1. Now they're going to appeal, no swing. I think he went. But the count is 1-1. A full swing and a miss.
And a mighty swing at that.
1-2. We'll see if the Twins are at all tempted to try to send Polanco now that Sano has 2 strikes.
He's given up 21 home runs, 11 of those to right-handed hitters.
Polanco goes, got a good jump, but it's strike 3, and the inning ends. On to the second, no score after 1.
Work. I'm Marnie Gellner with your rainy scoop from the clubhouse. Logan Morrison had surgery this morning on his left hip. It was a labrum repair. They also removed some bone spurs. No timetable for the rehab. Paul Molitor just reported that surgery went well for Morrison. And the DH tonight, Tyler Austin. Molitor talked about how he's been impressed with how Austin was able to stay on some really tough pitches in the last couple of games and get some hits, and that he doesn't want Austin to sacrifice his power to doink some hits in, and that Austin's been really solid for the Twins so far. And on Gonzalez, Molitor said that he really has this relaxed kind of personality, that there's a calmness about him that could really play into this start tonight and help to control any nerves, any emotions that he might have. But Dick and Bert, that's probably a pretty good quality for a guy in a big time situation like this, to just have calm demeanor.
Absolutely. Now a drive to the gap in right center field. He's just given up his 3rd hit. This one will one-hop the wall. Heading to second is Delmonico. A little problem with it out in center by Kepler, and it'll be a triple for Delmonico to start the 2nd inning. A little bit of a fumble out on the warning track by Kepler, and that may have allowed Delmonico to take an extra base.
Well, a lot of times when it hits that pad, and you know that this ball was smoked right here, a high fastball. Delmonico with his 4th triple of the year and his speed, but you can see that spin getting away from Kepler. By the time he could grab it, Delmonico was rounding second base.
Will play the infield back except for Mauer on the right side. He'll play about even with the base, and Davidson, the batter. First pitch strike over the inside corner. And now 0-2. We've seen Gonsalves throw that upper 80s. I don't know if it's a slider or what it is, but he's thrown it upstairs and gotten a lot of swings and misses.
By doing a good job getting strike one. Davidson has struck out 124 times in 304 at bats. So a strikeout dictum here, maybe trying to go up the ladder.
Trying to get him to chase a high fastball, but 1-2.
Carver sitting inside.
Foul ball.
Davidson fouling it off.
White Sox, with Gonsalves' 2 strikeouts in the first inning, have struck out already 1,194 times. Hundred 60 strikeouts more than the Twins have struck out.
Yeah, Davidson even last year, even though he hit 26 home runs, he hit only 220. He struck out 165 times in 414 at bats. So very strikeout prone, but when he does make contact, the ball jumps off his bat, almost like Tyler Austin with the Twins.
1-2. Runner at third. Nobody out here in Chicago's second inning. Bouncer foul.
Davidson, 27 years old, in his 3rd season with the White Sox. Came up with the Diamondbacks in 2013.
Ground ball past Adrianza into right field, an RBI single for Davidson.
Delmonico scores. Davidson with that single, driving in his 45th run.
That'll bring up Yolmer Sanchez. 4 hits in the first 7 at bats against Steven Gonsalves.
This looked like a breaking ball right here. That was a fastball, and Davidson just hitting it the other way.
Sanchez will hit. Sanchez a switch hitter, but a much better hitter from the other side of the plate. Gonsalves misses, ball 1. Off-speed pitch over for a strike. Beaten foul, 1-2. Pretty light yet steady rain falling throughout here. Fans protecting themselves however they can. At least it's not snowing as it was in mid-April when this game was supposed to be played. And boy, did it snow, about 1.5 feet hit the Twin Cities area. Inside a ball, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, if you remember back then, 3 games were canceled. We've made up 1 already. This is the 2nd one, and we'll have one in late September.
Doubleheader. 2-2. Fouled back. Twins have had 4 postponements. This is the 3rd one to be made up. The other one was against Seattle. Haven't had any postponements on the road, which is a good thing. White Sox flying here from Chicago just to play this game, and then they, like the Twins, will fly to Chicago afterwards. Popped up, it'll reach the seats.
I'm seeing a lot of foul balls already. Gonzalez 37 pitches so far in this ball game, trying to get the first out here in the second. Saw that from Odorizzi a lot of times. When you're always up, you know, it's easier for that hitter to foul off that pitch.
Change up taken. That's a 3-2 count.
Up in the zone. Davidson not a threat to take off here. Another foul ball.
Under changeup over the Twins dugout. Already 38 pitches for Gonzalez, 26 strikes. 8 pitches in this at bat. 39 pitches for Gonzalez. And a fastball in the dirt. It's ball 4, I believe. Sanchez didn't want to go to first, wasn't aware it was ball 4.
Well, he's up there such a long time fouling off pitches, he didn't know the count. So the first walk for Gonzalez.
And the first 3 batters reach here in the second. Tonight's BP brighter picture, with the Twins using a trip to the mound. You can see since the middle of June it's been really good for Gonzalez, and he's going to have to come up with some good pitches here in the second to keep this a 1-0 game.
I think Mitch Garver with a runner at second base right here, just going out, make sure that what sign they're going to use with a runner at second.
And the batter's Kevin Smith. Squaring and bunting, foul, or did it hit him?
Check him.
And they're saying no bunt attempt. And so Smith, in trying to bunt, is hit by a pitch, and they're loaded up.
Well, it's a breaking ball right here. Yeah, hit the back foot. Smith pulling the bat back.
So now they're loaded up with nobody out. Tim Anderson, the batter.
Anderson, a guy that's up there swinging. He doesn't take a lot of walks.
First pitch, a breaking ball, over, strike 1. Popped up. Mauer chasing it. Adrianza after it. That ball lands, a fair ball. And safe at second. Hit between Cave, Mauer, and Adrianza. A single to make it 2-0.
Boy, sometimes the ball just finds a hole, and that was a hole right there. 3 players converging on that pop-up. That went right down that right field line. Mauer giving chase. Adrianza about the only one maybe had a chance with Cave, but Adrianza kind of blocked him out right there. It's an RBI single for Anderson.
Like Joe kind of peeled off a little bit at the end, like someone may have called him off, but then no one caught the ball. So a rough inning for Gonzalez, who gave up a triple and a single, then a walk and a hit batter, and the last thing he needed was a pop fly single. And Gonzalez can afford to grin about it, maybe even chuckle about it, but still nobody out in the inning, and it's 2-0. 3 batters have been retired in 10 at bats. A fly ball to right and a couple of strikeouts in the first inning.
Garcia in his first at bat got a high fastball and lined it into center field. First hit for the White Sox.
Ball one. Garcia ended up at third base. Foul back. Gonsalves 2 years ago, the Twins minor league pitcher of the year. The guy catching him, Mitch Garver, was the minor league player of the year for the Twins last year. Both players honored for their achievements at the Diamond Awards, held in January. 1-1, and now 2-1.
"21 pitches in the first inning, 25 so far here in the second, looking for his first out."
He's playing the infield back, cheating a little bit at the corners. Bauer again about even with the bag at first. Sano a step or two back. 2-1 to Garcia. Pounded foul into the dirt / mud in front of home plate. Giolito trying to keep that right arm loose. It's already been a long half inning. And Buznitz has taken the jacket off. Two and two. And a strikeout on what would have been a pitch inside. Gonsalves will take it. It's the first out of the inning.
Gonsalves picked up its third strikeout like a slider and had a little movement right here. See the break at 85.
And now Abreu, who was called out on strikes his first time up, and this is where you need the ground ball hit at someone. Buznitz getting loose. Just a 2-0 ball game. Very much in it, but a tough out at the plate. Inside ball one. Two and 0.
Trying to pitch Abreu inside. First two pitches.
2 runs have scored. 3 more runners are out there. Laced down the line past Sano. Sanchez will score. Smith coming in. Rosario firing towards third base, and he'll hold the runner Anderson at third. It's 4-0 Chicago.
Well, Abreu with his 36th double of the year, driving in 2, now with 78 on the season. Bell behind an account, came in with a changeup or a little cutter, and Abreu right down that third baseline. Karams off the wall. Sanchez scores. Smith scores from second base. And Anderson over to third.
Still 2 men in scoring position and only 1 out. Here's Palka, who lined to right center field his first time up. Up, ball one. Sad to say, get the sense that this might be Gonsalves' last hitter, whether he gets Palka or not. And it's 2-0.
I fell behind on Palka, and in that 3-1 fastball, he lined into the right center.
6 hits, a walk, and a hit batter. That's outside 3-0. First base is open, and Garcia, Avisail Garcia, is on deck. Going for a little bit of a stroll. 3-0 to the powerful Daniel Palka.
He will have the green light.
And it takes high to fill first base. Ninth man to bat will be Garcia.
Here comes Paul Mahler.
And we'll have a pitching change before he gets to the plate. Disappointing outing for Gonsalves. Got through the first inning okay, but the White Sox have already pinned 4 runs up on the board in the second. And it'll be another situation where a reliever will come in with the bases loaded. This time with 1 out. It'll be Buznitz against Garcia.
Well, keep your head up, young man. Hopefully many more starts to come. He had to sit and wait and not make any excuses because Giolito has to do the same thing, or did the same thing, but sometimes it doesn't work out. You just don't want it not to work out on your major league debut.
Well, on the same flight brought Gonsalves to the Twin Cities, Alan Buznitz was on the flight. He's gone back and forth quite a bit, of course. Suddenly, this is a pretty big at bat. The bases are loaded, 1 out. Garcia's the batter. The White Sox already lead 4-0.
I think just the 3rd game in a row that a reliever's come in with bases loaded, trying to get the final out, and some of them had it with nobody out. Buznitz, of course, with a good fastball, curveball. There's the curveball right there.
And that was the task he had to accomplish or what they wanted him to work on in the minor leagues. Get that breaking pitch over, make it more than a chase pitch, and have some confidence in throwing it for a strike, in this case on the first pitch. A fastball gets a swing and a miss.
The Twins had fastball at 96. He's got a good curveball. You know, he just has to get it over the plate, as you mentioned. This is his 4th stint this season with the Twins.
Boy, could he use a strikeout. He's ahead of Garcia, 0-2. Delmonico on deck. Fastball away. It's kind of the same thing they tried to impress upon Ryan Presley. Now Presley's breaking ball much sharper than Buznitz's. See what he gives Garcia here on 1 and 2. High cheese, a strikeout, 2 away.
A big strikeout right there. Garcia striking out for the 2nd time in a ball game. Buznitz right now leaves the bases loaded. Now 2 outs. Good high fastball. Remember, Garcia struck out against Gonsalves in the first at bat on that high fastball. Entered the 1st inning.
Delmonico started this match with a triple off the fence in right center field.
Yeah, that triple was the 36th triple for the White Sox on the season. That leads the American League in triples.
First pitch breaking ball, strike 1. Another breaking ball taken for strike 2.
Buznitz down in AAA. They had him in that closer role.
Ooh, went upstairs with a fastball, and Delmonico got a piece to stay alive. Oh, 1-2. And now 1-2.
Yeah, Buznitz in his second season with the Twins. He came over from the Angel organization in the Ricky Nolasco trade and Alex Meyer. Giolito saying, "Give me more if you want." He already has 4.
Back to Buznitz.
Great sound right there.
Nice job by Alan Buznitz, keeping the damage within reason. Trying to hang on in a wild card spot, if not taking over the division lead back from the Cubs. But Eric Thames has been out with a sore right knee, and the Brewers don't, again this year, seem to have the mojo in the second half that they had in the first half, and injuries are a part of that.
Oh, they really are. You know, Ryan Braun too, also missing some time. So yeah, 2 big bats out of that Brewer lineup where they're 3.5 games behind the Cubs.
Plenty of time for the Twins to get back in this now, down 4-0. It'll be Kepler, Garver, and Cave in the second inning, facing Lucas Giolito. A ball, now a strike. Two and one.
The White Sox looking for pitching help, especially on the starting side. Giolito making his 25th start. He's been at least one that's been semi-consistent for them. 11 of his 24 starts, quality starts. Has the most wins as a starter.
Hopper back to the mound, and Giolito makes the play, 1 away. Looking for a convenient ticket package that fits the demands of your busy schedule? The Flex Plan gives you a bank of 20 tickets to use during the season any way you choose. You can go to 10 games with a friend, 20 by yourself, 5 with 3 other friends. Whatever works for you, the Flex Plan gives you the flexibility to choose only the games you wish to attend all the way up until the first pitch. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/flex. Here's Mitch Garver. Well, the White Sox are hoping that Giolito is a part of their pitching future. They're really hoping that the guy starting tomorrow for them, Michael Kopech, is going to be a part of their future. He's one of the top pitching prospects in the game, and he'll make his major league debut tomorrow night at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago.
He said he can throw that fastball in the low 100s.
1-0 to Garver.
Yeah, the starting staff for the White Sox, 29 wins, 54 losses, an ERA over 5.16. So that's been a thorn in their side all season long.
But we've seen Giolito be, pretty good against the Twins this year in 3 starts.
Yeah, he's been hot and cold. His last start he pitched pretty well. And then coming against the Detroit Tigers, 6 innings, a quality start, 3 earned runs. But the start before against the Yankees, 7 earned runs in 5 innings. So
3-1.
Kind of the year he's had. 1 good, 1 bad. 11 quality starts in 24 starts.
They got Carlos Rodon, another left-hander that really looks like he's turned the corner. So there is some hope with the White Sox and their rotation. There is ball 4 to Garver, and it's the second walk issued by Giolito.
Again, Giolito came in leading the American League in walks, now with 74.
I'll bring up Jake Cave, depending on whose measurement you trust. It was either 430 or 457 feet. Now, StatCast had it at 430 feet. Now you can see the sign there's 403 right below at field level, and that ball was beyond the sign.
That was up in the catch
and
area.
up in the catch area.
Going
so
with the 457.
I am too. I am too. Up and away, ball 1. I mean, I would guess that the catch area where the ball landed was 15-20 feet beyond the fence, and then you've got the trajectory and the velocity and all that. What a surprise for the fan who ended up with a baseball up there. First mound visit for the White Sox.
Yeah, Smith went right out behind home plate and kind of trotted out to the pitcher, so try to get him back in that strike zone. Giolito's given up less hits to innings pitched, but again, the walks that creates, a lot of base runners.
And there's one aboard with 1 out. 1-0 to Cave. And now a strike.
One thing you cannot do, you could have the greatest defense behind you, but you cannot defend a walk. And you see right there, 74 walks in the American League.
Half swing, but a strike, and it's 1-2.
I mentioned before, when Giolito pitches against the Twins, he's pretty good Hollywood bloodline. His father, Rick Giolito, and his mother, Lindsay Frost. Now, I believe she's from the Twin Cities area. Lindsay Frost. A lot of daytime type shows that they appear in. As the World Turns, Who's the Boss?
As the World Turns, is that still on the air?
I guess so. He has appeared in. Now, that maybe no more. I don't know. You watch TV during the day?
Well, I generally watch baseball stuff on TV.
Yeah.
But there used to be so many great soap, not great, a lot of soap operas. Secret Storm, All My Children, Days of Our Lives. And there's like 2 of them left, right?
Did you used to get into those?
I got into Days of Our Lives once for about 3-4 months. Dribbled to the right side. They'll get 1 out, and Cave will beat the relay.
Yeah, Cave too quick, hustling down that line. I could see you sitting. Did you set your clock for, say, 1 o'clock?
No. I was a bachelor.
Don't want to miss that.
I was a bachelor. I'd put the TV dinner in and sit and watch Days of Our Lives.
Watch Cave right here. Even though it's a ground ball, he's hustling down that line. Stay out of the double play, and he's able to do that.
Tyler Austin will bat. I never
Did you
figured
get
out
popcorn
about
at all when you?
I never figured out about either the bold and the beautiful or the young and the restless. Do you need to be both to be on the show? If you were just bold, could you be on bold and the beautiful, or did you have to be bold both bold and beautiful and young and restless?
You love Twitter. Ask your tweeters.
One strike to Tyler Austin. Breaking ball, and it's looped to right, a base hit. Kane will fly around second.
Get going.
He's going to third, and they're going to wave him around. Austin to second with a double, and the Twins are on the board. In a way, Austin showed in a different way his power. He hit that right off the end of the bat and still went out near the warning track.
Yeah, we saw it in yesterday's ball game. Yeah, he can hit that fastball a long way, but we're being impressed with the way he handles the breaking ball. That ball stayed up a little bit, but for the second straight day, he took that curveball the other way. And there's that big gap right there out in right center. Cave taking a look. Now pick up Gene Glenn at third base. Gene Glenn says, keep going, young man. And he scores. And it's a 4-1 ball game. So Austin picking up his 6th RBI in a Twins uniform and his 29th overall.
Adrianza batting 9th. He takes low, ball 1. Twins trying to pick away what was once a 4-0 lead, and a big 2-out double by Austin, who's now 10 for 24 in a Twins uniform with 3 home runs. 1-0 to Adrianza. For a strike, 1-1.
Good changeup right there by Giolito.
Down and in. 2-1. Bauer on deck. Austin put the Twins on the board with a 2-out double. Now Adrianza with a foul, 2-2. Good news is the skies are breaking up. I can see blue sky up above target field. And that almost always means it's not raining anymore.
Very good. You're on a roll tonight.
2-2. And a fastball down the middle of the strike. Twins take another walk from Giolito, make you pay with a 2-out double, and it's 4-1. this double from Tyler Austin.
Oh, there's 2 outs right there, so you take off right away, and he kind of picked up the baseball right there. Probably saw that the center fielder, Garcia, both Garcias were close to that ball and scoring all the way from first base.
Statcast AI powered by AWS, and now we move to the bottom third of the Chicago batting order. Starting with Matt Davidson, will face Alan Buznitz. Got the Twins out of a ticklish spot in the second. They'd already scored 4 times, and he entered the game with the bases loaded, 1 out, and he got exactly what he needed, a strikeout and a comebacker to the mound to keep the game within reach. Salva's left to just watch now, see if the Twins can continue to score some runs and get them off the hook. Pop straight up in the air.
Who wants it? Right in the middle of the infield.
Sano stumbles as he comes up the mound, and that's, Jim Cott, if he were here, he would say those are the plays where a pitcher needs to take control and say, look, I've got it because I won't have to climb the mound.
Well, I think, Kitty was very good at that, taking charge, but you can see Sano calling everybody off. The dangerous part is what he did. You start climbing up that 10-inch mound up there.
You'll see it a couple times a year. Somebody will do that and fall over.
Right. So a nice concentration, nice catch by Sano.
Best athletes on the team. And they can't catch a pop-up?
We were told not to.
Here's Sanchez.
Get out of the way. Oh, nice bunt.
But Sano picks it up and rifles his throw to Mauer. The out is made with both corner infielders making a fine play.
Yeah, we've seen Sano. He was playing in on the grass anyway, and with the wet grass, you're thinking, okay, that ball's maybe a little bit on the wet side, but Sano using that big paw he has, and then nice one hop to Joe Mauer, open glove, makes a nice play.
2 down, and now Kevin Smith. That wasn't that bad of a bunt either. Sano just made a really good play. Strike 1. Smith tried to bunt, tried to sacrifice bunt in the second, but Gonsalves hit him with the first pitch. There's a ball, hot ground ball between Mauer and the line, and Smith has a hit, and he'll hold up with a single.
Well, Smith, a good hitting catcher. That's kind of an excuse me swing right there. Got the last second, just made contact, and the ball hugged that first baseline. Smith picks up his first hit. Good job by Cave getting over there quickly to keep him to a single.
There are the clearing skies. You look from center field out behind home plate. And now Tim Anderson taking a strike on the outside corner.
Tell you what, Buznitz coming in throwing strikes, 16 pitches, 14 strikes.
And Anderson late on that fastball. It's 0-2.
Not good when it's the top of the third inning, and Anderson, he leadoff hitters up for the third time.
No, 10 men batted in the second. Inside with a breaking ball. Anderson took it for a ball and was thankful it didn't hit him. Ball in the dirt, blocked by Garver. Two and two. gets by Garver to the backstop. Seen that happen very often, but now Smith is in scoring position.
Yeah, I don't know if that. I think that's probably a pass ball right there over a wild pitch. I don't believe it hit the ground. I think it just hit off the tip of his glove. Take a look right here. He wants it inside, not hit the ground. So a wild pitch.
Ruled a wild pitch. Yep.
That's hard for a catcher, you know, when you're sitting inside like that, and all of a sudden, you know, you're set for that ball somewhere around inside, and it's down and away in the dirt.
Especially when it's 95. Very little time to react. 3-2 now to Tim Anderson.
Curveball right here.
Fastball away, and it's a walk, putting him aboard. And now the White Sox are putting together a threat after the second out. That'll bring up Lurie Garcia. Gonsalves got him on a breaking ball inside. And while Gonsalves did not have a very good outing, he only got 4 outs. He did get 3 strikeouts. And Garcia now will bat left-handed against Buznitz.
250 hitter on the left side of the plate.
There's a fastball that moves him off the plate. Buznitz got ahead of Anderson 0-2, and then missed with a breaking ball inside and ended up losing the batter.
Twins have already used 2 mound visits. That's right there. You'd probably, catcher, you'd like to go out and say, hey, come on, get back in the strike zone now. I guess you could stand out in front and yell it at him. See, Buznitz maybe slipping a little bit right there, fixing the dirt area around where that left foot lands.
2-0, and you really want to get this guy because Abreu, best run producer on the White Sox, is in the on-deck circle. Just got a nice 2-out hit to get a run on the board, get back in the game at 4-1. Don't want to give any back with 2 outs in the top of the next half inning. High fly, center field. Going back is Kepler. And the warning track makes the catch about 400 feet away. The White Sox leave 2 more. They've left 7 men on through their 3 innings.
A career milestone, his 200th career big league win. Only went 5 1/3 innings against the A's, but that was good enough for the win. Verlander now is the 117th pitcher ever to 200 wins. Among active players, it's just Bartolo Colon, CC Sabathia, and now Justin Verlander. Also, the Astros beat the A's in that game, reclaimed first place in a very tight AL West.
All right, thank you, Marty. I'm going to put you on the spot now. Do you remember who you beat for your 200th win?
No, I was with the Indians. I know that. I don't know who I did. No.
Could it have been the Twins?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, you've got friends on Twitter. Why don't, you know, they can find out and let you know. We get our stats guy going, our research department, Kevin. Kevin's been with us all year long. We haven't given him much publicity this year.
Well, I got a really nice plaque from the Indian organization on my 200th win. It had the game ball in there that I got. That was very nice. It was presented by my teammates.
Oh, that's nice.
Cool.
That's a lot of wins.
Sure is.
1-1 to Joe Mauer, leading off the Twins' third, down 4-1.
It's also a lot of losses too.
All right, you got 287 wins. How many losses did you have?
250.
Really?
Yeah.
They give you anything for your 250th loss?
No, they told me to get out of Dodge. Gave me an old mule to drive home.
1-2 to Mauer. He bounced out to short. Second pitch of his first inning at bat.
Yeah, there's a curveball right there. Now, he struck out Sano on that curveball, and they say that that's what's helped him a little bit more as far as getting deeper into ball games. Yeah, he's got a good fastball and mix of a slider, but he's throwing that curveball over the slider right now, and he's at times having very good success with it.
2-2 to Mauer. And in the dirt again, 3-2 with Rosario on deck.
Trying to change up right there. You got a 3-run lead. You don't want to walk that leading lady if you're Giolito.
Tap to the right side. Easy play for Sanchez. One down. I'm going to bring up Rosario. Wednesday, September 12th, it's Minnesota Wild Night at Target Field. A limited number of Wild Theme Night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and a Twins Wild co-branded stocking cap. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/wild or call 800-33-TWINS. One down. Here's Rosario. Hit a fly ball to left his first time up. Fouled back, a strike. In case you're wondering, we have the same umpiring crew that we had in the Tigers series, with one exception. Nick Marley, who has plate duty, was brought in to catch or to umpire the added game to this homestand. I was curious how they were going to handle that,
right.
And it makes sense. You bring in one umpire who hasn't been on the plate lately, and that's Nick Marley. And the other umpires, Gonzalez, Diaz, and Nelson, holdovers from the Detroit series. We'll have presumably different umpires tomorrow in Chicago.
I think Lipka was behind the plate yesterday, and he was a call-up umpire. You call him a vacation umpire, so maybe he went on vacation.
That sounds like a nice job, doesn't it? A vacation umpire.
I think the umpires now, they get, I think, what is it, 2 weeks? Sometimes maybe a couple times throughout the summer months. All the traveling that those guys do, unbelievable.
To the outfield grass, Anderson just barely got Rosario. Turns out he played that awfully well.
He sure did. He had to go onto the grass at short to play that hop, and then showing off the strong arm he has. See where he's playing. He's playing basically on the grass right now. He backpedaled and got it quickly over to Abreu on a bang play. Yep, he's out.
Okay, well, my friends on Twitter came through for me. Bert Bladevin beat the Oakland A's 6-1 on June 14th, Flag Day, 1985. You beat the A's 6-1 for your 200th win, improving your lifetime mark to 200 and 173.
Okay, did I go 9 innings? That's all I want to know.
No, I just says here 5 and fly. What's that mean? No, it doesn't say that. If you're 6-1, why would you come out of the game?
Well, that's the way I would look at it.
Outside a ball.
Dave Garcia was a manager then. He would have left me in.
Hey, I wanted to ask you too, the sad news today, Doc Edwards, who was a coach of yours with the Cleveland Indians, later managed the Indians. He passed away today at the age of 81.
Good baseball man. Boy, very knowledgeable man. Yeah, sad to hear when you told me.
1-2 to Polanco. Drew a walk in the first inning. Inside 2-2. It's kind of what Giolito did with Polanco after getting ahead of him in the first inning. Played around with him a little bit and ended up losing him to a walk. So now hoping for a chance here in the third. And a foul off the bat of Polanco.
Giolito, again, he came up with the Washington Nationals, only made 4 starts and 6 appearances last year. 7 starts for the White Sox. Pitched pretty well. And then this year, made the rotation out of spring training. He's been in it ever since.
And it's 3-2 again.
There's the curveball right there. Making only his 36th major league start. He has 11 wins, 13 losses, an ERA over 5. And this is his 5th career start against the Twins.
And
change up.
Struck out Polanco on an off-speed pitch, and he has his first 1-2-3 inning.
White Sox ended up scoring 4 runs in the second inning with Stevenson.
Gonzalez.
Yeah, right there. I was looking at my Twitter. I'm sorry. Wanted to see if I won a complete game. Twins came back with 1 with Tyler Austin's double. Scored K from first base.
And for what it's worth, we've established that you did pitch a complete game for your 200. And Alan Buznitz got the Twins out of a really bad spot in the second, with the White Sox having already scored 4 runs. Ran into a little trouble himself in the third, but got the third out, and now he'll pitch the 4th inning, or at least start the 4th inning. There's no activity in the Twins bullpen. Got to keep this game within reach.
Gonzalez just didn't get deep enough in the ball game, and that puts a lot of pressure on guys like Buznitz, guys that, you know, down in the minor leagues was a closer, so he's pitching 1 inning here, 1 inning there. So you're asked Buznitz to go a little bit deeper into the ball game.
Ryu, Palka, and Garcia will bat in the Chicago 4th. course, have that 2-game series in Chicago, but then they got a tough road or home series with the A's coming up. And then they do have an off day on the 27th, 1 week from today.
See Marvin Alston right there going over Paul Mahler, maybe who's available. Who do they want to use next?
Outside ball 1. Bray with a strikeout looking in the first. Then he cracked a 2-run double down the line, down the left field line in the second. Look at that. 339 extra base hits in 5 seasons. That got through Garver off the umpire 2-0.
I mean, look at the names right there. Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio. He's looking for the 5th straight year to have over 25 home runs and drive in over 100. There's only been 2 other players to do that. Albert Pujols and Joe DiMaggio. That's some pretty good company. Abreu from Cuba. Signed by the White Sox back in 2013. The following year was his first year. He was the American League Rookie of the Year in 2014.
And solidly to left, a base hit.
He's a good hitter. Came into this year a .301 hitter with all that power.
Look at consecutive 100-run batted in seasons to start a career. And those names are pretty distinguished too. You get 3 Hall of Famers, and Pujols will get there right 5 years after he retires. But he's got a little more work to do here. He's got 78 runs batted in. Daniel Palka will bat. He singled and walked. Inside ball 1. Salvas has faced 8 men, given up 2 hits and a walk, and now a strike, 1-1. Fouled back on the breaking ball a little bit. Palka spun it over the backstop. Palka waiver claim from the Twins organization in early November last year. And eventually, as I guess somewhat of a response to that, the Twins made the trade with the Yankees to bring in Jake Cave. On the ground. Great stop at second by Adrianza. A full-length dive to his left. 1 away.
Boy, you like the range right there. You know, we saw Adrianza at first base. We've seen him at third. We've seen him at short, out in the outfield. Very athletic individual that can play all over the field. He makes a great play right there. Fully stretched out. Palka not the quickest down that line, but it's a heck of a play. Abreu goes over to second.
Now Avisail Garcia, who struck out twice, and he takes ball 1.
Oh, we just looked up that 200th win for me. The run I gave up was unearned.
Who cares about that?
Well, you brought it up.
Here you win 6-1, a milestone victory, and you're concerned about the 1 run you gave up. Swung on and missed, 1-1.
It was unearned.
So I hear.
So my ERA went down from 7 to 6.
1-1 to Garcia. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Garcia having a tough time making contact as he takes a little stroll. Struck out the first 2 times up. Oliver Drake starting to loosen up.
1-2. It was Buznitz who struck Garcia out upon entering the game, and he got him again. 3 swinging strikeouts for Garcia, twice against Buznitz, 2 away.
And Buznitz picks up his second strikeout. So good hard curveball right there, good location, and Garcia unable to hold up.
That replay brought to you by Dodge. 2 away, and now Delmonico. Strike on the outside corner.
Delmonico missed about 2 months with a fractured right hand. Happened in the middle of May, activated in the middle of July.
Fastball zipped inside off the plate. 1-1. Buznitz trying to finish up what has already been a good outing for him. 1-1. 95 again. Well in off the inside corner.
He's got a strong arm. I mean, able to maintain that. Again, you know, down in the minor leagues, not really used for a couple innings here or there. Usually just one.
Pick off to second, and now the throw to third, and Sano can't catch the ball, and the ball kicked to the warning track, and the White Sox will get a run. Abreu took off for third as soon as Garver came out of the crouch, and Adrianza had to try to hit Sano on the run.
I think Abreu ended up kicking the ball out of Sano's glove as he slid into third. So Garver throwing behind Abreu as he got off the bag too far. Polanco's throw as Sano was moving toward the bag. It's in his glove. Oh, then bounced out, and then you saw that Abreu ends up kicking the ball foul and then scored.
Delmonico takes a walk, and Sano charged with an error. It was Polanco delivering the throw, and it looked like it was a good throw, but Sano trying to catch it on the run while he's backpedaling toward the bag.
Right. Ball in and out of the glove and then kicked by Abreu.
Well, Abreu chose to try to advance on the pickoff throw rather than retreat, and it ended up giving him a stolen base, and the White Sox got a run. Now a fly ball to center, and Kepler should glove it, and does, for the third out. The White Sox had a run, and now they lead it 5-1. by Grant Casino. The best stories start here. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. Skies have cleared. We got started about a half hour late. Now the Twins have some work to do, down 5-1. Just in foul territory out on the plaza area. Sano takes outside ball one. He struck out swinging his first time up. Middle of the Twins lineup. The Twins honestly haven't done much against Giolito again here tonight.
Yeah, just one hit so far, and that by Tyler Austin that drove in Cave. The RBI double.
Down the middle of strike 1-1.
Giolito making his 13th road start. You can see he's pitched better on the road than at guaranteed rate field.
Missing inside, 2-1. It's a function, I think, of seeing the ball better and being more patient at the plate, but it translates into Sano seeing a whole lot more pitches over the course of a game or a week than he did before his demotion. That's called a strike, 2-2. Sano didn't like it.
That's high right there.
Some chirping from the Twins dugout.
Well, fastball right here, upper part of that box, and it was on top of the box. He struck him out on a curveball in his first at bat.
Now 3-2 with Kepler on deck.
Yeah, that more of the slider right there.
Would you agree? I mean, the at bats are longer. Everything is a lot more professional than it was.
Just he looks more relaxed. He just looks like he has patience up there. Hopefully, he's hoping the pitcher makes a mistake.
Bouncer to short, picked up by Anderson, and Sano retired, one away. MLB.TV now available at a lower price. For $49.99, you can watch every out-of-market regular season game. Plus, get a free subscription for MLB At Bat Premium. Blackout, other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of the special offer. Here's Max Kepler. Hit a hard one hopper back to the mound, fielded by Giolito for the opening out of the second inning. He takes ball one. And a strike. 64 pitches, 37 strikes, 27 balls. Puznitz is done. He allowed an unearned run at the top of this inning. Oliver Drake looks like he'll pitch next for the Twins.
Go back.
We've seen Giolito do this to the Twins. Mentioned in his last start, he had all sorts of control trouble in the first inning, walked the bases loaded, then got out of that and retired 14 in a row.
Yeah, that in Chicago back in late June.
A high fly deep down the right field line. It is back and foul. Just foul, and not by more than inches. From here, it looked like it went on the other side of the pole, but no complaint from Jeff Smith.
Right, that's who I was looking at, Jeff Smith. Take a look at the pitch inside. Kepler gave it a ride. Watch the flight of the ball. If you could see it the whole way, yep. Did not disappear.
At Fenway Park, that's a home run because the foul pole's closer. 2-2.
Got Pesky's pole.
And Kepler's called out on strikes. And now 6 in a row sent down by Giolito.
Strikeout number 4 for Giolito. And Max definitely looking for something else. The ball kind of came back a bit over the plate. Smith, I'm sure that it's frames it nicely for his 4th strikeout.
Garver walked his first time up, ended up being forced at second, but the guy who replaced him at first base, Cave, scored on Austin's double. That's the lone Twins run so far tonight. And the fastball, strike 1. One strike. And now 2 of them.
What Don Cooper, the pitching coach, is trying to do to Giolito, get him a little bit more balanced over the rubber. And he used to throw in the upper 90s. And Don Cooper saying, you know, you don't have to throw 97, 98. Make sure that, you know, you use your legs.
Gap to right center, long run, and Garcia unable to get it. And Garver will hold up at second with a 2-out double. A slicing liner that had just enough twist on it to get out of Garcia's grasp, and now he's hurt on the warning track.
Yeah, he's a little sore getting up. And kind of limping back toward the infield area.
Now this doesn't look good. He's going to need some help getting off the field with an injury to his left leg. Schneider and Joe McEwing will run out there to assist in whatever way they can. Don't know whether it was the run, the reach, or the tumble at the end of it.
Well, he's had a lot of left knee, hamstring injuries already twice this year on a disabled list.
Right as he was reaching for it, you could tell something popped.
Locked up.
It's like that.
Grabbed it. Grabbed the left hamstring again.
As he was reaching with his left arm and pushing off with his left leg, something twinged, and that he needs Herm Schneider and Elmer Sanchez to help him off the field doesn't look encouraging at all.
Well, back in May, he was put on a disabled list, sprained left knee, and then in early August, put on a disabled list for left hamstring strain.
Adam Engel will apparently replace him.
He got it again. Boy, I hate to see that.
And Garver has a double with 2 outs. Cave will try to cash him in here and get the Twins back on the board. Look like he can hardly put any weight at all on that left leg. So the White Sox lose a player here in the 4th inning. And Engel out there playing catch. He'll finish out the ball game, one would think. Bench players left for Chicago: Yuan, Moncada, and Narvaez, the other catcher. Giolito giving some warm-up tosses to stay warm, while Garcia unfortunately has to leave the ball game. Cave will bat. He reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning and then barreled home on Austin's double.
Twins have only 2 hits, both of them doubles.
Both of them hitting the same direction to right center field. Cave takes a strike on the outside corner. Cave's put up good offensive numbers since his call up, sent back, and of course called up again. The average at .273. Check his swing. No swing, 1-1. And now 150 at bats, so the sample size is substantial enough to have a clue anyway as to what type of player Jake Cave can be. We've seen him run well. Times his play in the outfield's been really good, other times not so much.
Now we showed you the defense right there. The outfield shading him toward left field and the infield shading him the pull.
Swung on and missed. 1-2.
And that's one thing he has done. He has struck out about once every 3 at bats. Exactly 50 strikeouts and 150 at bats. So making contact. When he does make contact, he's hitting .273.
Inside 2-2. And the 50 walks offset by only 7 or 50 strikeouts. Offset by only 7 walks and 2 of those intentional. 2-2. Pitch number 75 for Giolito. A blast to center. Angle going back. He won't get there. It's gone. Cave clicks his 6th home run of the year, and it's 5-3.
Well, we can talk about the strikeouts and all that, but one thing we have seen from Jake Cave, when he does make solid contact, that ball jumps off his bat.
The home runs generally have gone to center field. He hasn't pulled that many of them.
Well, fastball right here, right down the middle. Deja vu from yesterday when Cave hit that blast. And he hit the back of the batter's eye right there.
3 runs for the Twins. All 3 have been delivered by 2-out extra base hits. And now here's Austin. Austin hit the double with 2 outs in the 2nd to score Cave for the 1st run in the 2nd inning. It's 5-3. And we're just in the 4th inning. Off the plate, 1-1. All right. Now they measured this one today at 429, and it hit the base of the batter's eye. He clears the batter's eye and ruins somebody's lunch in the restaurant upstairs, and that was just 1 foot further.
1 foot further, yeah. I'm going with 457 yesterday.
2-1 to Austin. 2-2.
That home run night Cave, the 22nd home run that Giolito has given up this year.
But just the 2nd he's given up to the Twins in more than 22 innings of pitching. Bouncer to short. Anderson scoops and fires. Twins respond with a couple of runs in the bottom of the 4th. The 2-out double and then a 2-out home run for Jake Cave. Dempsey fans of the game, can you reach where she's sitting? She wants you to throw her a ball.
I would love to throw her a ball, but I can circle her. You were hereby circled, young lady. Oh, I gave a little. I give a couple baseballs away during a ball game to a lot of the fans down here. And usually they're small kids, and got a nice little sign back from Emily saying, "Thank you very much for the baseball." That's nice. Yeah.
Yolmer Sanchez will lead things off against Oliver Drake, who will come in and pitch in what is now a 2-run ball game.
Drake's done a good job out of that bullpen since he joined the Twins. Drake in a Twins uniform, making his 6th relief appearance. He's worked 6 1/3 innings, given up only 1 hit, 3 walks and 7 strikeouts. Those are his numbers between the other 5 teams that he has pitched for. Or I should say the other 4 teams.
Right. No one's ever played for 5 different major league teams in one season, but Oliver Drake has done that now.
He started with the Brewers, went to the Indians, the Angels, the Blue Jays, now wearing a Twins uniform.
And it has to be a different look for a hitter. We've talked about this before, where the delivery is straight north and south, over the top. I don't know how he gets the ball back to where it goes back to, but he delivers it straight over the top.
But watch his stretch right here. A lot of guys will, take their one. Now, instead of your left leg going back, he moves it forward. And what that does, it almost like tilt. I'm going to tilt this ball toward home plate, straight over the top. Not only a good fastball, but that split finger that he's already got set in that right hand.
2-2 to Sanchez. Grounded weakly. Think he got a splitter.
That was a splitter right there.
1 down. Somewhere here at Target Field is our sideline reporter, Marnie Gill.
And Dick, I have our showstopper for tonight. Top of the 9th inning from yesterday, the Diamondbacks were in San Diego. A.J. Pollock hit a solo home run off of Kirby Yates. That's the 16th of the season for Pollock, who also doubled earlier in the game. And thanks to that 9th inning home run, Arizona beat the Padres 4-3.
You look at the National League West, and just 2 games separating first from third. And the Giants still within striking distance, although they've
lost 4 in a row.
The thing you need to do if you're where the Giants were is you need to play like the Twins did last August. You just need to kind of take control and make sure you propel yourself forward.
Well, you know what? It's always exciting too this time of the year because you play so many games within your division.
Right.
So the Giants, even though they are 8 games behind the Diamondbacks coming into today's play, now they're going to start playing the Diamondbacks, the Rockies, and the Dodgers.
2-0 to Smith, number 9 batter, who has reached twice, hit by a pitch in the 2nd, then he singled in the 3rd. Got a good 2-0 rip, but he fouled it to the backstop. You ever had the chance to do what Marnie does? I mean, she can kind of bounce around the ballpark here and do her reports from different places in the ballpark. Have you ever had occasion to move around and watch a ball game from different vantage points here at Target Field?
As someone that's not, say, broadcasting?
Yeah,
I have. I've walked around this stadium. It's beautiful. I don't think there's a bad seat in this house or a bad view.
I think Safeco Field was the first ballpark to do it. Kansas City's revised their ballpark so you can be behind home plate. You can make the arc all the way around and never take your eyes off the ballpark or off what's happening on the field. 2-2 to Kevin Smith. In case you're wondering why we are where we are, the game was supposed to, it was supposed to be an off day to start with, but got snowed out in April. Scheduled a game for tonight. It was supposed to start at 6:10. Ended up starting about 6:40.
Both these teams will be after the ball game getting on a plane and heading to Chicago's for a 2-game series.
Now, do you think it is just one plane, or will we have our own plane?
We'll have our own plane.
You could probably save some costs that way. Let everybody on the White Sox sit on one side of the plane, everybody on the Twins on the other.
Everybody move over.
Ooh.
A good pitch right there.
Drake thought he had strike 3. Where was that?
Straight over the top fastball.
Oh yeah, perfect pitch. Three and 2 to the Chicago catcher. Bouncer to short. Head high on the second hop. Will not go to Mauer. 2 down. If you're game for a little excitement, head to foxsportsnorth.com. Submit a photo and message for the opportunity to be featured in the Minnesota Lottery Winner's Circle during the broadcast and receive $100 in scratch tickets with the Minnesota Lottery. Every day is game day. 2 down, and now Tim Anderson. Night game tomorrow night, day game Wednesday. Then the Twins come right back home to get their first look at the Oakland A's. Oakland a game behind Houston. Both teams playing, just not each other tonight out on the West Coast. Splitter taken low, and it's 1-1. And another one gets a swing and a miss.
Anderson, just 25 years old, White Sox #1 pick, 17th overall in the 2013 draft. East Central Community College in Cantor, Mississippi.
Oh, good inning for Drake as he sets the White Sox down 1-2-3. Canadian wildfires. They said in Seattle today they had the roof open at Safeco Field, and the air so unhealthy in Seattle that the Mariners took batting practice indoors rather than go outside to take batting practice. Ray Adrianza takes outside ball 1. Came in here the other day driving downtown when the smoke was maybe its worst. I felt like I was driving into Beijing. up high, and it's 2-0. Adrianza, Mauer, and Rosario will hit here in the 5th, with Giolito's pitch count up into the 80s now. Pulled to right, a base hit. Fell behind Adrianza, and Adrianza with a single to start the 5th inning. And that'll bring up Mauer, representing the tying run. Mauer with 2 ground balls, 1 to second, 1 to short. At the knees, a strike.
I think the Chicago White Sox are one club that shade seemed, especially in right field. Garcia playing almost out in right center. If Joe could hit that ball down the right field line, my goodness, he could run forever, and Adrianza could score.
Still remember a ball last year that Joe hit right over the second base bag, and I put an F9 in my score sheet because it was Garcia, the right fielder, who caught it in straightaway center field. I'd never seen that before.
See all that room in right field.
2 strikes to Mauer. Adrianza chased back.
But the analytic part of the baseball game is, you know, how do you shade Joe Mauer? Well, you shade him toward the left field line. So as a pitcher, what do? Probably haul fastballs away.
And Joe said as much when I asked him about the shifting. He says you look at it and it does tip you off as to how you expect to be pitched. You wouldn't think with this shift that they're going to throw Mauer anything soft inside that he could pull.
If you throw him inside, it's got to be down and in. That's about the only thing. You leave it up, he could, you know, flare down that right field line, and that's a double. So watch Smith move again behind the plate, creeping outside. Oh.
Joe takes with Adrianza bluffing toward second. The shifting makes all the sense in the world. It was 120 years ago. Willie Keeler said hit them where they ain't. And it took about 100 years later for people to realize, well, the defensive complement to that is put them where they're hitting it. Right?
Well, they definitely do it in today's game.
That's to left. And Delmonico makes the catch, 1 away. Bring up Rosario. Stretch it out on the grass at Target Field. Yoga Night presented by United Healthcare. Wednesday, September 5th. Participants will receive a Twins branded yoga mat, Twins game tickets, and an on-field yoga class. Reserve your spot today at twinsbaseball.com/yoga. Rosario with a fly to left and a ground ball to short. Four for 14 against Giolito. And Rosario has hit a home run against the White Sox starter. Abreu with a nice pickup. Out at second, and Rosario is out at first on a double play. If it stands, Abreu to Anderson, back to Abreu, may have ended the inning. Good play by Abreu. And the Twins are taking a look at the called out at first.
Nice play by Abreu right here, and then Anderson from The sidearm throw.
No, I think he's safe. Paul Molitor is going to come out and check with first base umpire Manny Gonzalez. And it is an official review, which suggests to me that maybe the replay equipment is down again. It's happened a few times, both here and on the road, where the equipment is down here locally.
Well, watch Rosario's left foot. Does it get on the bag before it gets into the back? And it is a Twins challenge.
So we think it'll be a fielder's choice and not an inning-ending double play. And it looked that the ball was still a foot away from Abreu's glove when Rosario's left foot compressed the bag. Not sure what Paul Molitor, maybe he's simply expressing they were challenging the out at first, not the out at second, because he came out and talked to the first base umpire, probably to explain to him what it was they were challenging, not the out at second, but the out at first. Watch the left foot of Rosario on the bag, and the ball, the blur of the ball hadn't gotten to the glove yet.
To the back of the glove, that's what they look at. See the bag right there moving by the left foot.
So we think that Polanco will have an at bat here in the 5th inning with a runner at first.
Still a very nice play by Abreu, getting that little short hop.
You would think, wouldn't you, that the replay is pretty conclusive, but we've been wrong many times before.
Here we go. Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, will say he's safe.
Yeah. So Rosario reaches on a fielder's choice. And the White Sox get just one out on a really nice play started by Abreu. And that will get Polanco to the plate here in the 5th inning. So some quick signs given by Paul Molitor. Wonder whether the Twins might not try to take advantage of the successful challenge and get Rosario up a base. 7 steals and 9 tries. Short lead by Rosario. And Polanco takes a ball. It's 2-0.
Been 21 stolen bases and 23 attempts with Giolito on the mound.
And again, Giolito issuing way too many walks. Try to bear down and throw strikes here. He doesn't want to face Sano with 2 men on base. That drifts wide. 3-0.
Smith is going to use a mound visit right here. It'll be their second.
Control's kind of been an issue throughout this at bat. Giolito fell behind Adrianza 2-0 before he whistled a single into right field. Now it's 3-0 to Polanco.
See if he takes a pitch right here, assuming he will.
At the knees, a strike, 3-1. There goes Rosario, and the pitch popped up. Anderson twisting and turning his way in the outfield grass, and he makes the catch. So big pitch there for Giolito. He got Polanco to pop it up to end the inning. Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Dodge. Join the brotherhood of muscle at the Dodge Summer Clearance event and get a great deal. Bottom of the sixth inning, White Sox still leading by a couple. They scored 4 in the second when they knocked out Steven Gonsalves. It'll be Adam Engel's first plate appearance. He entered the game when Leury Garcia left the game because of a left hamstring strain. He will be reevaluated tomorrow.
Yeah, he was just activated like 3 days ago because of the same injury. So, yeah, it doesn't sound good for Garcia.
0-1 to Engel. And now a ball 1-1. Alan Buznitz did a nice job getting the Twins off the field in the second. A scoreless third, allowing an unearned run in the fourth. And Drake had a 1-2-3 fifth. Swung out and missed, 1-2.
Yeah, Twins are 5-1 on this homestand. Hit well, a lot of home runs, 15 home runs in the 6 ball games. Hit .285. Starting staff has not really done their job. 7 an ERA over 7 coming into this ball game, but the bullpen has been outstanding, and Drake picks up his second straight strikeout.
Like what we've seen from Oliver Drake, some wild swings and misses on that splitter.
He's using that fastball, and then the splitter will go straight down.
He'll strike a lot of guys out throwing that pitch there with 2 strikes. Here is Abreu.
The relievers in the 5-1 homestand coming into this ball game, 3-1 out of that bullpen, 1.73 ERA. So the bullpen has done a great job, even though they've been needed a lot of innings.
1-0 to Abreu. Fastball was for a strike. Abreu drove in 2 runs with a double in the second, then singled leading off the fourth, and scored on the Sano error a couple of at bats later. pretty much just a 2-pitch mix, isn't it?
So
Fastball
far.
and splitter.
He does have a slider, but hey, that splitter is working for him. And he's hitting that fastball control-wise very nicely. Like on that fastball, the first one to Abreu, saw Garver set inside. He got it in there for a strike. Now Garver again sitting inside. Ball left out over the plate a little bit, but after that splitter that's at like 81, and then you throw that 93-mile-an-hour fastball, it looks like about 97.
To use your phrase, that downward plane has to be really downward when you release it literally at 12 o'clock, and it's coming down to 6 o'clock. 1-2. Toronto beat Baltimore 53, and the Baltimore Orioles are now 51 games below 500. Cleveland's come back to take a 5-3 lead late at Fenway Park against the Red Sox. 2-2 to Abreu. And now 3-2. Polka on deck. Later on tonight, Houston will play at Safeco Field against the Mariners, and Felix Hernandez making a start for Seattle out of necessity because James Paxton's on the disabled list.
Right.
3-2 to Abreu. Got him looking. Oh my. It's the second time Abreu's been called out on strikes on a pitch he thought was inside.
With a splitter right here. Watch the splitter. God, that one kind of went in on him. And Garver. Nice framework right there by Garver.
6 inches inside. 2 down. And now Polka.
Drake picking up his 3rd strikeout.
5 up, 5 down for Drake. Polka has singled, walked, and bounced out. Fastball over the inside corner. They say when a player gets traded, we heard it again all July and even afterwards, players say, well, it's nice to know you're wanted. Just think of what that must mean for Drake. He had 5 different 5 different teams wanted him. They didn't trade for him.
And we forgot about the Orioles. That's who we came up with. So
right.
He's pitched for 6 different teams. Came up with the Orioles in 2015. Well, getting an opportunity, maybe a little bit more here than he did with the other 4 clubs this year.
And a called 3rd strike. You can't do better than striking out all 3 batters in a 1-2-3-6.
A snapper, mow him down inning.
Miguel Sano, Max Kepler, and Mitch Garver.
And Giolito still out there starting his 6th inning of work. 94 pitches, 56 strikes, a couple walks, 4 strikeouts.
Sano 0 for 2. He struck out in the first, bounced out to short in the fourth. Breaking ball up and in, ball 1. Trevor May getting loose. Looks like he'll be the next arm coming out of the pen. And a fastball for a strike. 1-1. Inside 2-1.
Giolito making his 25th start. 9 times he has thrown over 100 pitches, 100 or more, and most 104. That came against the Twins back in late June. So he's approaching 100.
3-1. Kepler on deck.
Right now at 98 pitches.
To third, and Sano retired by a step. Good play by Davidson. 1 away. Giolito fell behind the slugger but got him to tap out to third. 1 down. Bring up Kepler.
Kepler in his last at bat came within maybe 2 feet of hitting a home run. Ball just was fouled on that right field line, and he struck out.
This one will stay fair, headed to the gap. Engel won't get there, and it's hard off the wall. Kepler will run around second, on his way to third. He's got a triple with 1 out here in the 6th. A rocket. That ball was stumped.
I think Engel thought he could catch it at one moment, but then he realized, I can't get it. It's going to hit hard off that wall. So Kepler jumping on the first pitch. And you're right. This is, what, 106 miles an hour. And it's Garcia, I believe the right fielder has to get over there and get it back in. And Kepler, a 1-out triple.
Now Garver will bat.
His 4th triple of the year.
Garver's reached both times with a walk and a double in the 4th. White Sox trying to get one more batter maybe out of Giolito. Left-hand hitting Jake Cave, who homered against Giolito in the 4th, is on deck. Juan Minaya warming up. Now, unlike the Tigers, who had 9 right-handed relievers, White Sox only have 8 relievers, 4 lefties, 4 righties. Strike, 1-1. Victor Santiago, one of the lefties, of course, a former Twin, pitched over 4 innings yesterday, so he'll be out for a while. One and one to Garver. Two.
Pulled the string right there. Good changeup.
Talked about it yesterday when he got a 2-strike single to right field.
We're thinking fastball. Garver a little out front.
We've seen Mitch have a 2-strike approach, toning things down a bit. This is where he needs to do just that. And he went down on a half swing, 2 down.
Slider down and away. Giolito picking up his 5th strikeout.
It's a nice Cricket smile thanks to Jake Cave, who made Twins fans smile with a 2-run home run.
Here's a blast again to straightaway center. That into 4th inning.
And they'll let Giolito out there to face Cave again. The Twins have got 3 runs tonight on 2-out hits. Need another one here from Cave. Checked his swing but took a strike. And Rick Renteria was taken to a hospital earlier this afternoon. Has checked out just fine. Club being managed by Joe McEwing.
We're very happy about that.
1 strike to Cave. Foul back 2 strikes.
Season high 106 pitches for Giolito.
Oh, and 2 to Jake Cave. Up just a little bit. Got a 1-out triple from Max Kepler, but now there are 2 gone and 2 strikes on Cave. 2-2, close pitch again. Looked like it was close from up here anyway.
We went back to the changeup.
Austin on deck.
That changeup right here, just below that box.
Check swing again. 3-2. Time a breaking ball. Cave crushed a Giolito fastball in the 4th for the home run. It's foul the other way. Giolito's had a pair of 4-run leads, 4-0 and 5-1. Checked his swing. Strike 3. Cave knew it. Didn't wait for the ring up by Jeff Nelson at 3rd. Kepler left at 3rd. And we head to the 7th. White Sox up by a pair.
started the ball game. It just did not work out for me. Ended up going only an inning and a third. A 4-run second inning chased him. But the Twins have to keep fighting back, and they did. Tyler Austin with an RBI double. That in the second inning made it 4-1. Then Jake Cave, a home run, second straight night in a row for Jake Cave.
Another quality start for Giolito against the Twins. 6 innings and 3 earned runs.
All 4 starts so far for Giolito against the Twins have been quality starts. 6 innings, 3 earned runs or less.
Trevor May will pitch for the Twins in the 7th.
Trevor coming in for the 8th time since being activated, going through that Tommy John surgery. 7 2/3 innings, has only given up 1 run, a couple walks, 10 strikeouts. And Garcia, Avisail Garcia, just wants to make contact. He has struck out the first 3 times.
The next weekend, Twins and the other 29 major league clubs are having Players Weekend, where they get to put their nicknames on the back of their jerseys. Trevor May's nickname is Lurch. Remember the Addams Family?
Yes.
So I'm imagining a situation like this where they're lifting foul into the seats. Twins need some bullpen help, so they call out to the bullpen, and Trevor himself picks up the phone and says, "Hello. You rang." Were you a Addams Family guy?
Oh, yeah.
Or a Munster? Yeah, it had to be one or the other.
Uncle Fester. I think Tim Laudner reminds me a lot of Uncle Fester.
Blocked in the dirt. 1-2. Garcia struck out 3 times, swinging in each case. Delmonico will bat next. A foul pop, and this too will be in the seats. Garcia, Delmonico, and Davidson here in the 7th. White Sox got 4 runs in the 2nd, knocking out Steven Gonsalves, and then added an unearned run in the 4th. And now 2-2.
Good job by Oliver Drake. 2 shutout innings, 4 strikeouts.
Buznitz did a good job too.
Yes,
he
he
came
did.
into that bases loaded situation and got outs 2 and 3. On the ground toward the hole and off the glove of Polanco. Garcia's aboard with a leadoff hit. Time now for tonight's Coors Light refreshing finish, and 3 strikeouts in the 6th and 4 in a row going back to the 5th.
Yeah, he pitched the 6th and 7th inning. Oliver Drake did a great job showing that good splitter along with good control of the fastball to get ahead and then strike him out with the splitter.
And now Delmonico.
And that was a 5th and 6th inning for Oliver Drake.
Strike at the knees.
My scorebook got messed up when they sent 10 minutes of play in the 2nd inning.
Hate when that happens.
Yeah. I don't mind it doing on our side.
Down and away, 1-1. Twins started the day 12 games behind the Indians. White Sox started the day 13 games behind the Twins. 1-1 from May to Delmonico. Bunted in the air, foul, trying to take advantage of Sano playing way over near where a shortstop would traditionally play.
Well, you show that, and automatically Sano has to look into the bench and say, okay, you want me to play up or you want me to play back? And they told him to stay back.
Talking with Paul Molitor about that during batting practice, the lack of bunting ability across baseball. I asked him, I said, how many guys you got? 12 position players. How many guys do you trust to bunt? And I won't mention the names, you can probably guess. Popped up, backing out of play. He said maybe 2. In other words, if a ball, and the reason it was brought up, Rick Renteria kind of took Adam Engel to task a couple days ago because he couldn't bunt in a key spot. And Paul said, you know, if I had to lay a bunt down, there's 1, maybe 2 guys I would trust.
And I'm going to go out and say Blanco's one of them.
Yep. And Joe Mauer was the other. 1-2 to Delmonico.
And these shifts will continue until guys start to take advantage of Sano playing where he's playing.
Right, and Paul then went on to say, look, in a situation like this, and I haven't seen Delmonico enough to know, but the Twins have plenty of guys that are very strikeout prone. If they've got a shift on like that, even with 2 strikes, you stand a better chance of getting a hit with any kind of a bunt at all. It used to be, you know, unless you were a pitcher, 2 strikes, you didn't try to bunt. But I remember a couple of years ago, even with Danny Santana at the plate, Paul would say, look, with 2 strikes, he'd be fine if Santana went ahead and tried to bunt for a hit.
I think until the players start taking it seriously, because, you know, in batting practice, they just lay a couple down. I think what they need is that gun that you know, in spring training, and just fire 90-mile-an-hour pitches and teach these guys to just bunt the ball down the third baseline.
1-2. There goes the runner. The pitch is high and all the way to the backstop. And Garcia's going to try for third, and now the throw goes into left field, and Rosario cuts it off. It will be a stolen base and a wild pitch, I think, that will advance Garcia to third base.
Garcia did not stop when he saw that ball got over the head of Garver. He gets a stolen base, just his second in 3 attempts. He got a great jump right there. And then Garver's throw high off the Sano's glove, but Rosario there to back it up.
Infield in now, and it's a 2-2 count to Delmonico. Half swing and a foul tip, still alive. You saw on the play with Garcia going to second, Polanco didn't try to decoy the runner into a slide at all. Middle infielders very often will do that, try to get the runner to go down in the event of a wild pitch, which is exactly what happened. And then so runner's less likely to pick himself up out of a slide, try to take another 90 feet. 2-2 to Delmonico. One hop to Sano, a look back, and a fire across the diamond, 1 down. Bring up Davidson. Target Field suites are available for single game rental for groups of 16 to 150 plus. Choose from the intimate Premier Suites, flexible event suites, luxurious Puckett Suite, or the spacious Skyline Suites. No matter which you choose, food and beverages included with every purchase. And you can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/groups or call 800-33-TWINS. Schedule your suite at Target Field. Running out of time, running out of home games. Roughly 2.5 weeks left at home in the baseball season. Infield in again for Davidson. A high fly to deep center. Kepler back at the wall, leaping, and it's gone. A home run. Just out of the reach of Max Kepler. Davidson to straightaway center. And The White Sox have doubled their lead.
All right, jumped on that fastball right there. Davidson with his 18th home run of the year. First home run that May has allowed. See the fastball. Davidson has got power.
Replay brought to you by Carrier.
Just out of the reach of Kepler.
Tell whether he got leather on it or not.
No, I think that ball is at least 3 or 4 feet behind him. See what bounce up.
May touch for a couple of runs, and now Sanchez pops it foul out of play.
I believe that's 12 games in a row that the White Sox have hit a home run.
Yeah.
Davidson with his 18th.
1 strike to Sanchez. Now down the left field line. And it is Polanco right in front of Rosario for the second out. We'll bring up Kevin Smith. You were talking about the success the Twins have had in this homestand and how it hasn't been because of the starting pitching. You look at games over the course of a season and you ask the people on the winning team, why'd you win? And it's not always this the case, but most of the time it'll be because of the ground ball picked up by Polanco. The guys on the winning team will say, well, our starting pitcher was better.
He kept us in the game.
Yeah, right. Tyler Austin drove in the first Twins run, and he'll lead off the 7th.
Well, Tyler's done a good job since he put on a Twins uniform. 3 home runs, showing off the power, but all in all, driving in some runs and picking up some base hits. Last 4 ball games, 8 for 12, a couple home runs, driven in 3, and he scored 3.
And Austin will, and the other Twins hitters will try to mount a comeback against the White Sox bullpen. Starting with Minaya.
Juan Minaya coming into the ballgame in his 3rd season with the White Sox. 27-year-old from the Dominican Republic. Overpowering fastball at times in the upper 90s, a curveball and a changeup.
It'll be Austin, Adrianza, and Mauer. If he can throw it over the plate, he can be effective, but throwing it over the plate's been an issue.
24 walks, 2 intentional, 26 in a 3rd inning, but 34 strikeouts.
The lead now, though, 4 runs. And a first pitch strike. Austin doubled in a run in the second and hit a ground ball to short. Yeah, 10 hits and 25 at bats, 400 batting average by my Minnesota elementary school man. 2 strikes to Austin. Three strikes.
See that overpowering fastball right there at 96. Mania comes in and shows that he does have that overpowering fastball. Went right after Austin. High fastball. Tough pitch to lay off of and catch up to it.
And a strike on the outside corner with Adrianza walking up the box, threatening to bunt. Adrianza called out on strikes in the second, then he lined a leadoff single in the fifth. Away, 1-1. Fouled back, 1-2.
Well, Mania originally signed by the Houston Astros of the Dominican Republic and then claimed off waivers by the White Sox back in June of 2016.
Two and two. And Adrianza strikes out.
Good changeup right there.
Matchup what might be a playoff preview in Cleveland, or in Boston rather I should say. A couple of 2-run home runs for the Indians. Michael Brantley and Greg Allen. And Red Sox trying to come back, or they jumped out early on Corey Kluber, but the home runs came back to beat the Boston Red Sox. 5-4 the final, with Cody Allen having some difficulty in the 9th inning. Bauer shoots one foul, 1 strike. Looks like neither the Red Sox nor the Indians will be pushed for anything in the final weeks of the season. And the Red Sox have a 17-game lead over Cleveland for the best record. Indians have a comfortable lead over the Twins. The Red Sox have a comfortable lead over the Yankees. So it will allow both teams to rest some players, particularly some pitchers. The Indians have been trying to protect Corey Kluber like the Red Sox have been trying to protect Chris Sale, who's on the disabled list for the second time. But all this talk about, you know, a 1-game wild card game, do you want to have to face James Paxton or whatever if he's healthy, or if it's the Yankees? What about Severino? That's given the assumption, there's a called third strike, that teams can simply hang on to their ace when they may have to use that ace to get into the playoff game in the first place.
Join us Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. for the Twins and the White Sox, this time from the Windy City on Fox Sports North.
Right here, the White Sox jumped on Steven Gonsalves in the second inning, and they lead by 4 runs as we go to the 8th.
Addison Reed coming out for the top of the 8th inning, making his 47th relief appearance.
Prior to Trevor May's 2-run allowance in the 7th, the bullpen been really good. We'll see what Reed can do here in the 8th, facing the top of the Chicago batting order. Anderson, Engel, and Abreu.
Now, 5th plate appearance for Anderson. White Sox have 10 hits, Twins have 5.
Anderson singled in a run in the 4-run second inning. Half swing, no swing, ball 1. Cutting across, Adrianza can field it, but that's it. Anderson running well enough to beat out an infield hit.
Got jammed right there, but picks up his 2nd single. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Wrap up the homestand here with this makeup game from an April snowout. 2 games in Chicago, and it's like, all we really need is an overnight bag. Just, you know, day tomorrow and then a day game Wednesday, and then we come right back home.
Well, you see what I'm wearing. I'm wearing this for the next 2 days.
Oh boy.
Bring a bag.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a hard time eating at all my favorite restaurants in Chicago when I'm only there for 30 hours.
How many do you have there?
Well, I got 3 places that I really like to go every time we go. But I can't do that. It involves pizza, it involves barbecued ribs, and Italian food.
So when you were there a week, no, that's just a fly ball.
In fact, it's Rosario coming in, making a nice running catch on the way.
When you were there to play the White Sox, I didn't make that trip, and also the Cubs. My goodness, how much weight did you gain?
Substantial.
Yeah,
substantial. 1 down, Abreu will bat. Abreu with a 2-run double in the 2nd, a single and a run scored in the 4th, and a couple of called 3rd strikes, bookending those at bats.
Anderson, 24 stolen bases in 31 attempts. A couple throwovers, trying to keep him close.
Strike over the inside corner. And Nick Marley has not made a friend in Jose Abreu by calling the inside corner.
See if Garver now he creeps away. Maybe a slider. No, fastball just misses away. Wow.
1-1. Popped up right side. Mauer and he'll backpedal into foul ground, make the catch. Adrianza was way over by second base, so Joe had to backpedal to make the catch, 2 away. That'll bring up Palka. A single, a walk, a ground out, and a strikeout for Palka. Ball one.
Palka originally signed by Arizona and then traded over to the Twins back in 2015 for catcher Chris Herman. Spent a couple years in the minor leagues for the Twins. And then the White Sox claimed him off waivers back in November.
Ooh, a hot shot under Mauer's glove, and that'll get quickly into the corner. Cave is up firing. They're going to send the runner in, and the throw over the cutoff man. A double for Palka. And the fleet-footed Anderson scores from first.
Well, Palka very strong. He hit a lot of home runs in the Twins organization. Fastball away. See Joe coming off the bag. Got underneath his glove into the corner. And Anderson in his speed scores the 8th run of the ball game for the White Sox.
8-3 now with 2 down, and Garcia will bat. Singleton scored his last time up. Garcia singled, then went to second on what turned out to be a wild pitch, and then he went on to third base. He came in.
They give him a stolen base.
Right.
When he,
right. So he went to second on a stolen base, and went to third on the wild pitch.
Right.
But a couple games ago, Rick Renteria took him out of the ball game because he wasn't hustling on the bases. He's dealing with a bad knee. And he wants to play, but I think the message from the manager was, look, if you're good enough to play, then you're good enough to hustle. And he's done that in the 2 games since. Tap to short. Polanco picks it up. And with a stretch at the end to close out the 8th inning, and the White Sox add 1 more run.
And he saw the hustle of Garcia down the line.
5, presented by CenturyLink. Tonight we'll take a look at the White Sox offense, jumping on Steven Gonsalves in his major league debut. Gonsalves went just an inning and a third, gave up 4 runs on 6 hits. We'll also look at Minnesota's offensive push from Jake Cave, another home run to deep center field for the 2nd consecutive game. And we hear from the manager, Paul Molitor, right after the final out tonight. Dick and Bert.
All right, thank you very much. And the point we were, I guess, making or trying to make, that this is one of those games where the White Sox players can say their starting pitcher did a better job than the Twins starting pitcher. And that's kind of what's happened here.
Well, the White Sox, too, they come in, you know, they've been playing pretty good baseball, too. So just didn't work out for the young man.
Eddie Rosario with a 2-0 count. Fouled back. 2-1. Rosario hitless in the ball game. 144 hits on the year.
Maya struck out the side in the 7th inning.
2-2 to Rosario. Strikes out Rosario. Foul tip into the glove of Smith. 4 batters faced, 4 strikeouts.
97-mile-an-hour fastball down in the strike zone.
Got to swing at it because it was at the knees. 1 down, and now Polanco. Polanco 0 for 2 with a walk. One and one. If the White Sox win this game, the Twins will still have the lead in the season series, but just by a 7-6 margin. They've got a lead in the Tigers season series 7-6, and they played the Royals and Indians straight up. It's always nice to have a winning record in your division, but there are a couple of teams that are undergoing major reconstructive processes. 2-1. A strike. That's what we talked about when we were facing the Indians. And, you know, Twins and Indians, that seems to be a pretty equal matchup, but the Indians have fattened up and propelled ahead of the Twins because they've done a better job against the likes of the Royals and the White Sox and the Tigers. 3-2 with Sano on deck. Fly to right over Garcia for out number 2. And now Sano. Sano 0 for 3, a strikeout and a couple of ground balls pulled to the left side. Twins are seeing some heat here with Manaea on the mound. They'll see more tomorrow. Michael Kopech. May throw a 96-mile-per-hour changeup tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to seeing a young 22-year-old make his major league debut for the White Sox. Hopefully the Twins can handle him.
Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Manaea came into this ballgame, what did we say, 24 walks, 2 intentional, and 26 in the 3rd innings. He hasn't shown any control issues here.
25 pitches, 17 strikes. He's gotten ahead of the hitters. There's There's a half swing and a strike, 1 and 2.
That on the slider at 88, 89 miles an hour.
That was borderline, but called a strike. Very high, 96. He's got a lot of work to do, down by 5.
Wow.
Power against power. Sano strikes out. 5 strikeouts in 2 innings for Manaea. There to pitch another inning for the Twins. He'll face Delmonico, Davidson, and Sanchez.
Yeah, Addison Reed originally signed by the White Sox back in 2010. He was their closer for a couple years in 2012 and 13. Combined those 2 seasons, he saved 69 games for the White Sox. Then he moved on to Arizona, the Mets, Boston last year, along with the Mets, and now wearing a Twins uniform.
Way out in front. Strike 1. Delmonico tripled to lead off the 2nd inning, and that set the stage for what was to follow. 4 runs and an early exit for Steven Gonsalves. Since then, 0 for 2 with a walk. Mauer gets the first hop to the bag for the first out. When you combine the most provocative man in sports with the most interesting man in sports, you get opinion that cuts through what I'm doing right now, hyping this show. Catch Speak for Yourself with Colin Cowherd, Jason Whitlock, weekdays at 4 p.m. Central, only on FS1.
And you're doing a darn good job.
Thank you very much. Davidson hit a 2-run home run to center earlier, drove in a run with a single and scored. Breaking ball gets a swing and a miss. Same pitch, same result. Oh, 2 to Davidson. I can't remember a sequence of games like this. Maybe you can, where you played a team for 3 games with 1 game in one city and then 2 in another. I can't believe it's ever happened,
right?
At least in Twins history.
Yeah, you'll have rainouts like Seattle came in for that 1 day, and
right,
you know, they come in to make up the rain, the snow out.
But this was an agreeable, mutual off day for the 2 teams. Remember that series started on a Thursday, and we played Thursday. I believe the first pitch temperature was 26 degrees, but we had to play. The Twins had to play because they saw the weather was going to be very snowy, and it would be highly improbable that Fridays, Saturdays, or Sundays game would be played at all. So the one game we did play in that series was bitterly cold. Yep. 3-2.
Twins ended up winning that first game 4-0 behind Barrios.
And beating Giolito, who for some reason had problems throwing strikes when it was 27 degrees.
Reed stayed with that slider. Finally gets Davidson to swing through strike 3. Picks up his first strikeout in relief. Good bite on that slider.
2 down. And now Yolmer Sanchez.
Sanchez, the only starter for the White Sox that does not have at least one hit. He has scored a run in the second inning on a walk.
Fastball on the outside corner. Diego Vieira will get the bottom of the 9th inning, one would think. Ball to the right field screen, and the bat out of Sanchez's hands toward first base. Reed hands it to him. Little tug of war.
Reed wanted a pine tar on it.
Hadn't thought about that. Nice. I don't even know if he's got any pine tar on it. It looks like he's got black tape.
It's okay. It's probably sticky.
Now watch him bite off the nastiest curve he's ever thrown. Adrianza has this one go under his glove. He made that play earlier in the game. Sanchez is aboard with a hit.
So every White Sox with that base hit of Sanchez has at least one hit, and their 13th of the ball game.
Smith will bat. White Sox are expected to get Wellington Castillo back on Thursday. That won't help them in Chicago against the Twins, but Castillo got pinched for 80 games for a PED violation.
That in May, I believe. It's not like Polanco, where it was at the beginning of the season.
Robinson Cano, another mid-season violator that was caught. He's back with the Mariners now. And of course, in that case, certainly not with Polanco and the Twins or Castillo for the White Sox, there's also a postseason ban that will impact the Mariners should they make it. 1-1 to Smith. 1-2. What the next phase, the next level of penalties will be, because they're guessing in the next collective bargaining agreement, if not earlier, there'll be heavier penalties. Here's a ball lashed to left center, and Rosario makes the catch to end the top of the 9th. The White Sox take a 5-run lead in the bottom of the inning. come back in this one. They got it back to 5-3. But then the White Sox got the next 3 runs. Had a chance in the 6th to trim the lead back. One more run. Kepler tripled, but then Garver and Cave struck out. So now it's a 5-run lead for the White Sox, and Thiago Vieira will come in for the 8th time this year.
Yeah, Vieira, a couple stints with the Chicago White Sox, traded over by Seattle to the White Sox for international bonus slot money back in November of 2017. Young man from Brazil, signed by the Mariners as a free agent. I think there's 5 players that are from Brazil. Jan Gold's one of those.
There's Kepler. Vieira has been particularly tough against left-handed batters so far. They're just 1 for 10 against him, and a 96-mile-per-hour heater hits the corner for strike 1.
Yeah, I say he get that fastball up in the upper 90s. Hard slider, changeup, working on a split finger. Vieira, 25 years old.
There's the slider, missing 1-1. Garver will follow. It's hit well to left center field, headed towards the bullpen, and gone. Kepler with another home run, his 17th of the year. And he's got a triple and a home run in his last 2 at-bats. And remember, before he struck out in the 4th, he just missed the foul pole for a home run back then.
Good solid swing, fastball, outer half of the plate at 96 miles an hour. Kepler, good solid swing into that bullpen area of the White Sox.
So 1 on the board quickly here in the 9th inning. And now here's Garver. Walked, doubled, and struck out.
And top 4 guys in a lineup tonight for Paul Molitor really hasn't done anything. It's been Kepler on down. The last 5 been able to get on base and score the runs.
1-0 to Garver. Garver's had a good night at the plate with the walk and the double, but his 6th inning at bat was a critical one. Kepler just tripled off the scoreboard in right center field with only 1 out. He was there to be driven in.
And Giolito threw a pretty good slider down and away. Credit him on a good pitch.
And now 1-2. 2 home runs for the home run happy Twins tonight. Cave with a 2-run home run. Now Kepler here in the 9th. 1-2 to the Twins catcher. Short center, and Angle is there to put it away. 1 down. Should be interesting tomorrow. Jose Barrios will hope to give the Twins a good one. The last couple have been kind of disappointing, and Michael Kopech will make his major league debut.
And let me tell you, Kopech's going to be fun to watch, but Barrios has had very good numbers in his career against the Chicago White Sox. So hopefully he's on. The last couple have not been Jose Barrios-like.
Here's Cave. You saw Gibson will go on Wednesday afternoon against Carlos Rodon. Two and 0. And now outside 3-0 with Austin on deck. A strike. Twins down by 4 runs. Of course, Cave taking all the way. Not sure what that's supposed to do, but boy, I could use that between my shoulder blades right now. Swung on and missed. 3-2.
Cave should get a fastball here. See if he can catch up to it. Did what he did 2 bad bats ago.
It takes a walk here. And that'll bring up Austin. And a trip to the mound. Austin and Adrianza, then who knows, maybe the Twins can swing the top of the order around here yet too. Austin takes a strike. Four lefties in the Chicago bullpen. Jace Fry getting loose. Swung on and missed, and it's 0-2.
Good slider right there after a fastball. Fastball for strike 1 and a perfectly placed slider.
And another one gets a swinging strikeout of Austin. 2 down. Adrianza trying to keep the game alive. Adrianza with a single and 2 strikeouts.
Another game, a lot of strikeouts. Twins were able to get the White Sox 10 times, striking them out. Twins have struck out 12 times.
Exactly, holding Cave on. He scampered to second, so I'm not sure if they'll give him a stolen base or not.
No.
Gray was in the vicinity of first base, and that was it. So defensive indifference getting Cave up a base. 1 strike now to Adrianza. And now a ball. Up and away. 2-1. Three and 1. Mauer on deck. And if Adrianza reaches, it would be a save situation for the next Chicago pitcher. Fry being a left-hander, it might be that they'll bring him in here. Under the glove of Abreu. Cave around third. He'll score. Adrianza has his second hit. The game's alive. And Mauer will hit. We'll see whether they let him ride with Vieira or not.
Adrianza hitting that ball sharply past Abreu. Got a little bit of glove on it. That ball scooted through the infield very quickly. Cave scores for the 3rd time in a ball game. Adrianza picks up his 24th run batted in. Don Cooper, the pitching coach, coming out.
The tying run is Rosario. He'll be in the on-deck circle. If Mauer can reach, Twins will have a shot to tie it up here. Almost certainly it would not be against Vieira. hitless. A couple of ground balls, a fly ball, and a strikeout.
White Sox are kind of where the Twins are as far as who's going to be their closer. Was Joaquin Soria no longer with them? Their closer by committee.
Mauer takes a strike at the knees. Bouncer right to the second baseman Sanchez, and the White Sox come to Minnesota and win the game that was snowed out in April.
Well, Steven, Segalvis just didn't pitch very well. So again, starting pitching, Giolito pitched very, very well for the Chicago White Sox.
So the White Sox and Twins will head to Chicago for a quick 2-game series. Tom Hanneman, the Twins will hope that Jose Barrios can pitch deeper into the ball game than Steven Gonsalves did here this evening.
Dick, the Twins fall short of their 60th win of the season, an 8-5 final. Up next on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We'll talk about the offense of the White Sox early on, what Jake Cave did at the plate. We'll hear from Paul Molitor.